Hey guys, welcome back. Another installment of this 24-hour Q&A video. I don't think I'm even halfway done, but we're already on the 9th video, so bear with me as I try to knock these out. 10 minutes on the clock, give or take. Let's go. Eric Zhann, what's the best way to get through those off days when you feel terrible in the gym? I would say to keep your focus on the ultimate goal. Realize that it's no one session that makes or breaks the entire experience, as long as you don't do something like get hurt in that time. And I think with anything, you just have to give the most that you have for that day and understand that that's all you can give. So it takes a lot of honesty and it takes some self-reflection to find that point. Auto-regulation's great in that aspect, that it never asks more of you than you are able to give on any particular day, but it does ask you give everything you can, and I think that's the best way to go through it. Just keep your mindset consistent and positive, and know that no one session makes or breaks you. Justin Broughton. Never mind, sorry, that was, he was answering a question from the last one. Thank you, Justin. That's Gregory Barsamian. I'm sorry, Greg. How are you able to recover so quick between deadlift and squat sessions? Practice. I've been doing it a long time. Started doing Shako training, where I was doing multiple squat and deadlift sessions a week years ago. I want to say 3 or 4 or 5. It was years ago that I started training like that, and I kind of jumped in. Most people, I would say, you need to kind of condition yourself for it. I know Mike Teixeira gave an example once in a video where he said if someone wanted to increase their deadlift frequency, to give you an idea, you would take half the volume from your first session, put it on a second day, and then slowly start increasing the volume of the first session again until it was back there. And so now you have a session and a half's worth of volume. And if you ask your body to adapt to a stimulus, that's all we're doing as weightlifters, as powerlifters. You're putting yourself in a condition where your body has to work to improve from it. And you'll notice that people who take a week off between their lifts, you know, if I do a squat and then I wait another week to squat, or I wait 4 or 5 days to deadlift, I am less conditioned to be able to do them in the same time. But someone who is training it frequently and able to recover because because they condition themselves to develop that work capacity over a period of time, it's a slow process. You can't do it overnight, and it takes time and effort and a lot of sore to get through there. But it can be done without the use of androgens or anabolics or hormonal assistance. I think it's something that you can condition yourself to, and it just takes a focused effort and conscious decision that that's the direction you want to pursue, that you want to work on your work capacity. And when you put that into the main focus of what you're doing, it tends to turn out that way. Aaron Welsh, how long did it take you to hit a 315 bench, 405 squat, and 495 deadlift? Love watching you and your journey. Thanks, Aaron. Man, those were... I don't think I hit a legitimate raw paused 315 bench until I was in college. I think that's how low my bench press was. I was not close to that in high school. I think that my shirted bench may have been getting near 300 in high school, but it took me a long time. I had some really bad shoulder issues, and I just didn't put very much focus or attention into the bench. I didn't care about it. I cared about the deadlift and the squat, and bench never was my priority, and so I definitely neglected it for a long time, and I'm kind of paying for that now. So that took a long time. My 405 squat, I think I did that. I definitely did that in high school. I want to say my sophomore year. I hit a 405 squat with... I think I did a 405 squat raw my freshman or sophomore year in high school. And a 495, I think I broke 500 also that year. I think those were the big numbers for me. But it's been a long time. That was... what is that? Something like 9 years ago. It was a long time, so you can tell that the progress has definitely slowed from then. But it didn't, that 9 years ago was still 5 years into lifting consistently. So that was, wow. It's weird to look at the perspective like that and see where you are and where you're coming from and how those kind of run together. Sorry, it's getting late, and I'm Reminiscing. Aaron again. Also, what is a template of what your routine looks like now? How many days do you train? Stuff like that. Okay, so currently I am running something that I got the inspiration from Garrett Blevins, who's another lifter who I've given multiple shout outs in my videos because I think he's a really cool guy. He's trained to be a minister, and he's got a really crazy total, and he's very smart when it comes to programming and just in general, and we've had some really good conversations. I am currently, I don't know when you're watching this video, but on this night, June 20th, 21st, that kind of time when I'm 8 or 9 weeks out from my 8 weeks out from my next meet in August 16th, I am running a modified version of the Cube Kingpin, but instead of using percentages, I'm using RPE ratings and basing all of my percentages on what I think my assumed max is for that day on whatever my initial set is. I am incorporating, I took the third movement from each of those days because the Cube Kingpin has 3 variations for each exercise. The way it works, I don't want to give away too many details, but basically you have a squat, you have then a high bar squat or a front squat, and then you have your pause squat. And then for the bench, on its day you have your competition bench, your close grip bench, and then a 1-inch pause bench or a spoto press. On the deadlift day, you have competition deadlift, a block deadlift, which I never do anyway because I never cut the range of motion on my deadlifts for any reason because my weak point is always off the ground, and I always either extend the range of motion or go from the ground. That's just my personal preference for me and my training. That's how I do it. Sorry, speeding up. And then my conventional deadlift is the third movement. I take the third movement from each of those days, pull them out of that day, and stack them on the third training day. And then I move my benching as the same day as my squat. So I squat and bench on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I take a break. Thursdays, I do my deadlifting and I do some sort of bench press, whether it's working on a close grip specifically or doing sports performance practice where I will do a bunch of pause singles at a moderate intensity, but not something that I could do probably for 3 or 4 reps, but I'm doing it for 1 and trying to work on my ability to do that single. And then I do accessory movements. On the third day, I have those pause squats, the pause benching, the 1-inch or spoto press, and then the conventional deadlifts. And so that happens. Then on the fourth day, I do shoulder accessories and just weakness assessment, anything. I'll probably do some high bar squatting on that day just to get my hips loosened up from all of the stuff that I've been doing. It won't be heavy, but it's just more of a getting blood to the areas, work on some of my weak points, mostly my arms, my calves, and just focusing on whatever I need the most work on. So I have 3 very specific primary focused workout days, and then that fourth day is kind of a y'all come put it together and do whatever else you didn't really get to in the week. I've been contemplating adding in a 5th day because it is summer and I have a little bit more time, not a whole lot because I tend to fill that up. We'll see when you guys have this video out, you'll probably see more of the progression of how that all is going, or I'll have already done the meet because it'll take so long. So yeah, hope you guys appreciated that and it was helpful in some way. What's your, Aaron again, does your nutrition and macros look like? I talked about this in a previous video. My macros tend to elicit some sort of frustrated response from people because they think that I'm doing it wrong, and that's totally within their rights. Maybe I am doing it wrong, but I'm about 3,700 calories, I think, for my maintenance. I'm trying to maintain and or gain weight, and so my base macros are over 300 grams of protein, usually over 100 grams of fat, and whatever else is left I tend to fill in with my carbohydrates. I just try to hit those numbers, and if it flubs up or down, that's just the way it is. I'm not super strict on that measurement. There are days where I just don't count them, and I think it's less important because I am gaining weight. I do think that it's something that I could improve and would see positive benefits from, but just where I stand and where I am right now, it's kind of working the way it is, and I think there's always things we can improve, and it's something that I'm trying to work on myself. So hopefully by the time this video is out, I will have improved it and figured out more of it, but it's a constant journey and there's always more to fix. I think I have a little bit more time to answer this quickly. Haydn Crook, are you planning on doing the IPF Classics Worlds at some point? I did mention this in a video and I kind of talked about it for most of the video. I think at some point I would like to get some experience in the IPF, not because I view it as the most legit or in any way better than anything else. I think that for the most part, federations across the board have their own determining things of what makes them better. I think as far as the lifting standards are the strictest in the IPF, I don't necessarily consider those the best standards or the optimal standards in any sense. And if you disagree with that, you're totally welcome to your opinion. That's why I try to compete in multiple federations. And in some point I would like to go there, and I think it would be a fun experience. It's not on my immediate horizon. It's not what I'm planning to do right now. Right now I'm prepping for the USPA meet August 16th, and then after that the UPA in September, the month after that, and then I'll go from there. But that's where I stand on those, and so I hope this video was informative or helpful for you guys. I hope that you learned something, or enjoyed it, or were entertained, any of that stuff. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking with me in all of this, and I appreciate you. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.